along the journey. These factors right here. How good can you do numbers 1 through 8 with all of your ability? And guess what? Everything on there you can control. You can control. So there's no excuse unless you want to find one under your hat, right? So now here's what I want to do. I want to transition and I want to introduce to you someone that does all of this without a complaint, without an excuse, an amazing wife and mother, a professional. I do have one thing that I think helped her a little bit is she works at a university in the amazing island of Trinidad. I've never met this woman in person. I haven't. She calls herself the Elevate mascot, and it's silly because I'm like, no, you're a super student. I'm not going to call you a mascot just because you do the things that we're putting out in front of you on a regular, consistent basis. I've had her speak before to one of our former groups when we went live to share her story. But due to our recent partnership with the iBoomerang family, and a lot of people haven't been able to hear her story. We've got a lot of super students, but her story is so unique because she didn't just do it once, like I said. She's done it more than once and still remains plugged in. So without further ado, Miss Kenya, I'm going to ask you, my friend, to say hello to the beautiful people. And I'm just going to stop sharing my screen really quickly. And I want you to just be you. Tell people the absolute truth. Tell them where you are from. Let them know if we've even met or not, other than Zoom.
I have never met this man in my life.
Tell them too, what was your profession before trading? Or do you have a friend in the markets? Tell us a little bit about your journey.
No, I still have my same. I'm still working though, guys. I still work. I still have my profession.
So Miss Kenya, tell them, where you're located. What did you do prior to trading? And tell us maybe if you've had an experience before Elevate, what was that experience? And then share with us some of your success.
I will start from the beginning of my story. I will, of course, because I'm sure many of you have the same story that I have. Probably not the same ending, but the same beginning, I can guarantee you that. So how did I start? I've always heard about Forex and trading and all these things. Oh, by the way, I'm from Trinidad and Tobago. It's a small island in the Caribbean. Yes. And I work at the university. I'm a wife. I'm a mom to a wonderful little guy. He's 5 years old. Yes. So my hands are very full normally, right? But I still made time. So anyway, I always was interested in always making my money work for me. And I always wanted to get into investments. And I knew about Forex. And those of you who are from the Caribbean know that we are populated with people who will tell you about the best company to learn to trade, right? I don't want to call any names, but those in the Caribbean, we know who they are, right? And I was sadly scammed to start off with, right? This guy, he took my money. He told me it didn't work out and this, that, and the other. I ended up calling fraud squad. I got back my money. But then I was like, but wait, if he could do this, where did he come from? I know I'm smarter than him. And how come he can make all this money? I'd still scam people with it. So I said, okay, let me look into this. I started investigating and I got with one group. And as typical groups, they give you these dreams and visions of grandeur that are most likely not true. And I followed them and I lost over 3,000 US dollars, more than 3,000 US of money that I didn't have to lose, but I was persistent and I said, no, I'm going to make it. And every time, oh, hold on, there's my little guy. That's what
There he is. He's all embarrassed now.
Yeah. So anyway, as I was saying, what ended up happening is that I got with this group, and I mean, I didn't get the proper trading psychology and the proper mentality to becoming a successful trader. Oh, thanks, Judy. He is cute. Yes, he is my baby. Yes, yes. And what ended up happening is that I kept refunding my account because I was promised to make millions of dollars, right? So obviously this sounds awesome, right? So eventually I decided, you know what, I don't understand why I keep losing money. But there was no teaching. So I decided I paid money and I decided to go and study on Udemy and all of these things. And I said, okay, all right, I'm understanding. And then this is when I met John and Derek and Aaron Lockhart. There was another company that they were in, and I decided to go to their classes. And I was like, okay, I'm understanding. This is similar to what I paid for before. And this is in a nice package deal. I kept following them and applying what I was learning. And I was getting a little better, And I really got hooked on Derek Crisp and his whole concept of grid trading, right? And up to now, I didn't know what to trade. Now, remember what I said where I came from, right? When I started and I got scammed, I didn't know what a pip was. I did not know, I lost money because I didn't know what a stop loss was. So that was like the major thing. I did not know what a take profit was. I didn't know how to put in a take profit. I didn't even know how to get out a trade. I just knew how to click a button. Like, on the MT4, that little button, that's it. Just click buy and sell. Because that's what the person told me. Oh, when I say buy, just click buy. When I say sell, just click sell. I will tell you, enter this as a lot size. I didn't even know what a lot size was. But all I do is I was entering this number and clicking a button. That's literally where I came from, right? And this was last year, by the way, guys. This was like about last year, June or so, when I started by JD. Yes. And since then, I was following these new educators, John, Derek, and Aaron. And they left the other company. And I decided, well, what's the point of staying? Because these were the guys I was learning from. So I went with them. And lo and behold, that's when everything turned out. I don't know if it's probably that's when they turned up the switch. They turned it up a notch. And I still didn't know what I was doing, by the way, guys. I did not know what I was doing, but I had an understanding. So I started plugging into the classes every day. And they had this inside the mind of a trader. And they would give out these trade ideas, right? So this is where it's going to get you how I made my money in this short space of time, right? I had no idea what I was doing, no idea, right? So when John said cheat off the smart kid, I was literally just mimicking the smart kid. I never drew a chart. Up to this day, I had no idea how to draw support and resistance or trend line. I knew what it was, but I didn't know how to draw it, right? I didn't know. So I would just be like, oh, this was a trade idea. I just copied it, just screenshots. I plugged in the numbers because at least I learned to do that. I learned how to plug in numbers, right? And I just clicked and I just continued with my clicking. But I understood why I was clicking. I wasn't just clicking randomly. I didn't know how to do it for myself, but I understood, oh, when he said this about cloud, when Aaron would say this about fast, when Derek would say this is about how to enter the trade and the Krispy Kreme and the 38.2 retracement and all these things. So I understood everything that was happening, but to say that I wasn't confident enough to do it on my own. So anyway, I started off with $100. So this was like me just saying, okay, I've lost so much. I've put 1,000 US, 500 US, and all these little things. I was like, I might probably blow this account too. So let me start small. Let's start with 100. So I started with 100, and this was in August. And by October, I turned that 100 US into 100,000 US. Just following.
Are you being honest? Are you being honest? You said 3 figures to 6 figures, yes, within 3 months.
Yes, yes, yes. This is a real. It was a real account, and the thing is, I wasn't even boastful about it because it was such a shock to me. I didn't even realize what was happening. I would set what was good trading, and honestly, the way I did it, don't do it, don't do that. But it worked out. It really did work out. But that saying, ignorance is bliss. When you're wide-eyed and you're bushy-tailed and like a child, they're just fearless. Right. When I came in, I wasn't tainted too much. And I just trusted them 110%, and I was just fearless. But now I have a little bit more knowledge. I'm like, I won't do that. but yeah, but I did it. I did it, and it worked. It worked out. It worked out. There were sometimes I was really sweating. That $100 went down to like $25. Yes. And it was like blinking, like they're gonna cut off my trade. And then by the time in like about an hour, it turned into $500. I was like, oh, okay, 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 it works. And then I did it again. And then at 500, I graded it again, and it turned into 750. I was like, oh. And then it kept going. But on a realistic note, it really was an experience. It really was an experience. And it really was because I followed my educators and I kept consistent. I kept studying. I kept plugging in, and I kept asking questions. Most important, I'm sure you know, I ask a lot of questions, right? I always show some charts. And that's a good thing. Now with this whole platform that they have, we now have the ability to have what they call study halls. I realize John did not mention that, right? So other than class, you can attend something called a study hall, right? And it's an hour where everything that you learned in class, you can actually go and study and ask questions and get like feedback. And it's not the only time, because if you have a chart and you're not accustomed to it, you could just send it into your Discord, and the educator would actually respond. And you might be talking to one educator, and like five of them are responding to you. Yeah. So that's to tell you. And you get feedback from, oh, just not really. You get feedback from all aspects, and you get different perspectives. So that's another thing. It could become a little overwhelming. So you just keep it very simple, take it slow. Um, you don't have to master all the concepts of trading that they have, because they have a variety. But because they have such a variety, it helps you discover the type of trader you are. When I started, I was forced into being a scalper, and I realized I am not a scalper. I am not a scalper. I am sweating. I want to cry. I have nervous breakdowns. And I realized that I am a swing and intraday trader, sometimes a position trader. But
So can I ask you something, Kania?
yes,
I'm sorry to jump in and interrupt, but
that's okay. That's okay.
I want you to share with them your top 3 reasons, rather quickly, the top 3 things that you think that really helped you elevate your knowledge with this so quickly.
The first thing is your attitude, right? When you lose, and you will lose, right? It's not to beat yourself up about it. I took the time to figure out, well, why did I lose? Why did I enter this trade? What did I miss? What did I not see? So that's the first thing. It has to do with your attitude. The second thing is you have to take notes, and not just sit with a notepad and write down notes, but you actually have to revise the notes
Oh,
that
you mean practice, right?
yes.
Okay, because I thought I
Yeah.
told them that, but I didn't want to leave anything out of that number, list
Yeah.
of 8. Okay. Okay.
Yeah, so yeah, you have to practice, but yes, exactly, Linda. You can't be a sore loser. You need to be a sport. Exactly. But you have to understand. Don't just think that, oh, I failed. But you have to keep getting back up. You have to be resilient, right? You have to understand that you are learning. It's a learning curve. So yeah, so that would be my top one. You have to have the right attitude. As John was saying, There are different people who get different results, and it has to do with your attitude. And yes, that actually is going to be my third point. You have to accept small wins. Accept small wins. Somebody will post on the chat, oh, they made $1,000 today. But do you know the size of their account? so it has to do with ratios. So like now, the first time I got the 100,000, that was strictly following educators. And since then, I have been able to elevate. Oh, I use the word. I have been able to elevate, and I have grown in confidence to analyze my own charts now. And I haven't been trading for a year. Honestly, June is going to be a year for me. And I can analyze my own charts now. I could actually sort of, I wouldn't say predict, but have a good insight as to where and what might be going on. And I have not been able to make another $100,000 in 3 months, guys, for those of you who have been asking. However, I was able to take $200 in January and turn it into $40,000 in 3 months. Yes. So I was able to do that on my own, taking trade ideas, but also on my own. And I was able to take 1,000 US and turn it into 27,000 US in 1 month. So I was able to I could consistently earn more or less. I can take $50 and turn it into $6,000 in a month. So I can consistently earn. Yes. And that's the thing. You have to be consistent. That's how you know you are a super student, and that's how you know that you truly are learning and elevating. And this platform, I have to say, I've been with 3 companies. This is the third one. And they are the ones that really focus on your knowledge, because that is one thing, guys, that it would never leave you once you understand. And I will tell you how much money I spent, over 600 US in Udemy trying to learn to trade, right? And I didn't understand because I didn't have that real life feedback. And that's
No,
what Elevate gives you. And they're a family. They make you feel like a family.
I'm always blown away too, because, you did the 3 figures to 6, then you restarted an account because friends didn't believe you and they are
Yeah, a
like,
lot of
oh,
people
you
didn't
got
believe me.
lucky,
Yes.
all those things. And you started with another 3 figures and turned it to 40,000. But think about I know you know this, but so I'm not talking to you, I'm talking to the listeners. Think about what she's saying. She had 3 figures, and even if she turned it to $10,000, who has a bank account or a form of investment that you can put a couple of $100 and turn it to 4? And not in a year, not in a year. We're not even talking about a year. This is not an income claim. This is not a guarantee for profits. Do not go tell someone that they said, I am guaranteed to do anything, because we are not guaranteeing that you will have Miss Campbell's story. What we are guaranteeing is we have a system, we have a format, we have a group of concepts, bank trading concepts, that if you apply them properly, consistently, studying, not just watching, but studying and applying, eventually you will share a similar story. Now, will it be 3 figures to 5 and 6? I don't know all that. But even if you took 3 figures, you took 100, 200, and you turn it to 400, that is crazy. Even if you made $50 out of $100, because you're not going to get that saving that money in the bank. You're just not. So I don't want you to feel, Kenya, that you need to say more. I do want to land the plane, but if you have a few more words that you can leave the people with before we end this conversation, please feel free to tell them anything else that you think contributed to your success, or maybe something you wish you would have known maybe along your journey. I don't want to keep anybody handicapped here.
Oh, I wish I had the help that I have now in the beginning, and the honesty. I think most companies, most people will pull up, they have fast car, big chains, all these different things. And I just loved the plain simplicity of all the educators of Elevate. And they're so honest. They're honest about, okay, this is what you should be doing, and this is how far you should go. And they really focus on your mentality as a trader. And I mean, I wish I had that, because honestly, mentally in the beginning, it was very heartbreaking for me. And it's just my sheer willpower of knowing I should succeed of why I started. But a lot of people don't have that willpower, and Elevate actually gives you that. Like they help push you, they help motivate you. And I mean, before they start a class, they always make you feel like, okay, I can do this, I can do this. And ever so often, even me now, I need that push. I do need that push to realize, okay, because sometimes I when I first made the 100,000, and I was like, oh my God, I'm gonna start over. Can I do this again? And I was like, God, I don't know. I'm gonna try. And it was just tuning in and plugging in. I was able to continue going, and I still need it. That's why I'm still there, and I'm still learning. Honestly, I don't. There are a lot of things I still don't understand, and the fact that I still don't understand that I can still make money, that's to tell you the value of the education that Elevate is actually giving. And yes, you will succeed with this platform. I know that it's not to be an income claim, but I'm telling you, you will succeed when you are on this platform. It's impossible not to. I personally came from like nothing, no knowledge, absolutely nothing. But you have to have the willpower to say, yes, I can do this, and I'm going to make sure and apply. And you just have to learn like one or two little things, and you would be surprised. You just have to plug into one or two educators, and you will be surprised. Just apply those few little concepts and you will start earning, but you have to be realistic. Oh, you're not even going to mention, but they
What's
tell
that?
you, they actually focus more on your risk than your reward. That's another thing. Yeah, so that's one thing I do. Son, that's another thing. Sorry, he's
You're
like,
okay. You're okay.
that's one thing that they actually tell you, that you have to manage your risk. They always tell you that, and they don't congratulate people for over risking their account and winning big and all these different things. They don't, because I remember when I finally made 100 and I texted John and he was like, "Oh, okay." Well, you better not be putting that on, this size account. You better have this size account. I was like, oh yeah, I do. And he's like, oh, okay. So
What
yes.
she's saying, friends, is when she was very excited on what her account did that time, the three figures became six. And so she was sharing with me her experience and her thankful and gratefulness. And I was so upset. I did not care how much she made. I said, you have got to use proper risk management. And that was actually her real account. I thought it was a play account. I thought that she was exaggerating something, but I was put in my place. She was doing proper risk management because she was using the right investment size for her account size. So
yeah. He always leaves out that part of the story. He was disappointed in me in the beginning.
I was like, what are you doing? So listen, Miss Kania, I really appreciate you and your time, and taking some time away from your family time right now to share. Because you did so well so far in trading, less than a year, you owe me curry goat, jerk chicken, Jamaican patties, and all kinds of other curry. So I need to come to you. I need to finally go and meet you so I can, y'all don't hate on me. I'm trying to make a deal here. You have done so well, and I think that you should really hook it up with some food.
Of course, I'm going to hook you guys with some food when you all come here. Yes.
Okay.
You'll have nothing to worry about.
I'm not sharing. Don't ask. Unless you're an educator, I will share. Otherwise, I'm not sharing. Listen, I appreciate you for sharing your story, and all of those that are listening. I really appreciate you as well for tuning in. And I want to land the plane and I want to end it with this. She has done something that every one of you do have the potential and ability and access to do. Okay. You really do. The question is, what are you going to do with this information that you heard today? Because it falls back on your court. So without further ado, Miss Kenia, I appreciate you and I appreciate all of our listeners. Keep being a super student and I will see you in class, my friend.
Yes, yes, of course, of course. Wait, do they allow to ask us questions? Are they supposed to ask questions?
Not in this one.
Yes, Shireen, I was supposed to tell them we don't have, well, we have curry goat, but we don't have Jamaican patties. We are known for doubles.
Oh, the doubles. Yes, yes, that's what I needed. The doubles. No, I want to make sure that people get the understanding of what you were able to do and what it takes to be a super student. And you were one of the first people that came to mind. All those that have questions, what I'm going to encourage you to do is get back to your leadership and your mentor or even your favorite educator and get those questions and concerns answered. And that's it. Let's elevate. Have an amazing rest of your day and enjoy the beach over there. I'm kind of jealous. I'm in Texas.
At least you guys could leave. I can't.
That's true.
We're all locked out.
That's true. Everybody have an amazing rest of your day. On Monday, we are seeking to unlock the ability to tune in live through the platform. So check your emails for any updates, any concerns. Get back to your leader and mentor for those questions and concerns. Boom.